This is Michelle, and today we're doing a pick a card reading. This reading will correspond to the date that you select the video, so it's not attached to any particular month or year. Rather, it applies for you in present time. So we're going to call this group of cards right here group number 1. This is group 1. We're going to call this group number 2 and this group number 3. If you have a specific question or concern, you can bring that to mind as you make your selection, and then we'll dig in. All right, we're back and we are starting with group number 1. This is group number 1 for the pick a card reading. And let me mention that we are using a lot of cards here, and so I'm not going to announce what all of these cards are, but I will definitely list them down below. I do, though, want to mention that the first deck is the Dewas of Creation by Sheila Conway. This is a new deck for this channel, and so I think some of you will be wondering. We're going to go ahead and get started now, and the first card from the Dewas is Eternity. Eternity. And so we can see the cyclical pattern in the middle. There is an idea here in this image of the womb and rebirth, we might say, in a cyclical pattern. And the colors of this Dewa also are, you can see, very rich. There's almost the idea of clay and things being formed out of clay. All right, and then the second Dewa we have is, this is Source. It's very subtle in the coloration, but I think, or at least I hope, that you can see that it is really just an intense emanating light. And this is representative of source energy, or we might say the first light of creation. And so two things coming up for you already. Group number 1 is the idea of rebirth here with eternity, but in a cyclical pattern. And then the idea of source energy. And the third Dewa that we have is actually, I had it reversed there. This is abundance. Now this image I think you can see more clearly. It is just the idea of a golden sun. We can almost see some like diamond type shapes or patterns down below. And just the idea of eternal abundance. And so just to begin with, for the group number 1s, this is, it looks like this is a time where you are going through actually a rebirth. It's a tremendous time in terms of manifesting, if you can tap into that energy and bringing in more abundance into your life. But before we get more deeply into that, let's pick the second round. This will be the Dewas related to the physical plane, and we are starting out with the sun. All right, now this is, we're getting a theme here developing, because we have not only abundance and the idea of a golden sun in this card, but we also have the sun showing up, which speaks of warmth, passion, and also relationships. So this is actually starting out to be absolutely beautiful. We're following this with Animal Kingdom, and you can see the elephant There are little patterns of animals all around. There is like an elk and a bear and a lot of images sort of embedded here. Elephant in the middle. This card speaks about, we want to say almost like instincts, animal instincts, all right? And then we have our third dewa from the physical plane, and this is the cosmos. This is like a galaxy spinning around and round. And so once again, we have another idea or concept coming in about rebirth. All right, so far number ones, I have to say this is brilliant. Actually, in terms of the dewas, we could not really ask for more powerful and positive cards. Again, we're speaking about a time of rebirth for you, rejuvenation. It's a time when you can tap into source energy. And what is coming through really, I feel, is this is like an ask and you shall receive type of imagery or theme. It may have to do with relationships in your life. And so it may be that if you have been wanting to bring more warmth and passion into your life in terms of relationships, that this is the time to manifest that now. And also with the idea of the instincts coming in, and also strength, great animal strength and versatility, it suggests that this is a time that you can make great changes and you have the strength to do so. It's time for a new beginning, for the abundance to come in. It is absolutely beautiful. It is stunning, actually, to begin with. We have more cards though, and so we're going to see if we can glean some more information from this spread for you. Well, it's the Ace of Hearts, and so suggestive even more that this may pertain to a new relationship coming in. And what I am hearing is that if you can imagine it and dream it in very precise detail, that the relationship that you are thinking about is more likely to enter your life. And this is certainly indicative of greater passion and love coming into life. Let's take a look again now from the regular playing deck. Well, it's the Ace of Diamonds, number ones. Oh my goodness. There's another match, is that this is group number one, and we have two aces. And so for some of you, I feel that this relationship or abundance that perhaps you have been dreaming about for quite a while may come to you through a work, I want to say relationship, like networking in a work environment, or it may also have to do with the start of new wealth and abundance coming in. Actually, this Ace of Diamonds is a beautiful match for the abundance dewa that you received. And in addition to the Ace of Hearts, my goodness, I want to say for the group number one folks, to really, this is a time to meditate and visualize exactly what it is that you would like to bring into your life, because I feel that your manifestation skills or manifestation abilities or your connection to spirit realm is exceedingly strong right now. And so whatever it is that comes to mind is likely to come in to life. And now we have the Six of Clubs. And so again, the suggestion of a social network coming in. It's possible for some of you that you have been thinking about establishing yourself in a new network of people. I want to match this also with the cosmos and the idea of more positive people around you in life, more people, like-minded people that want to bring abundance into life. For some of you, I feel that you will be actually joining some sort of club, an actual club. Like, I know that this is a club suit, but I mean like a club or fraternity of people, a group of people that are like-minded and interested in the same pursuits. I feel that for some of you, that is also going to lead to bringing in that more abundance into life. All right, that was from the regular playing cards. We are going to go into the Rider-Waite now. Let's just continue bringing in information. It is the Hermit. All right, very interesting. We have the Hermit coming in. This is really suggestive of, I can see the idea of source energy, of the heavenly realm looking down upon you and understanding, hearing, and being attentive to your deepest desires at this time. Absolutely beautiful to see. Let's continue. And now we have the Page of Pentacles coming in. All right, we are getting more confirmation for you. The number one, folks, we are getting more confirmation about the potential for a new start regarding finances or business. But I really feel that there is a karmic sort of I want to say an influence involved in this pattern. And again, I am also picking this up with the Eternity card and the idea of rebirth, that indeed you are heading into, I want to say, another brand new cycle, let us say, with this Page of Pentacles coming in. All right, just this reading is absolutely overflowing with newness, I want to say, with the energy of just new, beautiful, positive things coming into life. And now we have the moon. And so from the writer, this is actually the universal Waite tarot deck that we're using, but the tarot is saying not to be afraid, not to be afraid of the new abundance that wishes to come into your life. I can really see this golden energy coming into life now. This is really saying, allow it to come in. Have no fear. You have been manifesting this, dreaming about it, thinking about it for such a long time. It might be for some of you that when things do start to turn around and become beautiful for you, that indeed, if you have been waiting for this for a very long time, it might almost seem like this is too good to be true. I can't believe it. And that there's a little bit of fear involved. But I have to say, in all honesty, for the group number ones, what I am picking up from this reading is have no fear. Ask and you shall receive. And so, keeping that in mind, what I want to bring in again, and I'm repeating myself from earlier, but it's the message that is coming through, and it is to be very selective about your thinking, about what you're imagining that will come into life. I have two more cards that I want to go to. One of them is the Tarot de Marseille, and the other one is the Power Thought cards by Louise Hay. We also have Butterfly Affirmations, and I'm hearing to go to the affirmation cards at this time to pull in some connections. And so we're going to go with the Power Thought cards. And this beautiful little card is actually has messages on both sides. So let's take a look. The power thought is saying it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. All right, now this is absolutely consistent with the message coming in for you from the moon. If it is any kind of fear or trepidation about what might be coming into life, if things have been difficult for a long time and it's almost like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, if it feels like something is really too good to be true, but there it is, again, the cards are saying not to be afraid. The fear is only a thought and it can be changed. Let's see what we have on the reverse side. I am not limited by any past thinking. I choose my thoughts with care. I constantly have new insights and new ways of looking at my world. I am willing to change and grow. All right, this is a beautiful affirmation. Both sides, I wanted to say these because there are two affirmations coming in saying that, everything is flexible, our thoughts are flexible, and so if we are drifting back and forth a little bit in our thinking, positive and negative, that we can always switch back to the positive thought that wants to bring the abundance back in. And now let's take a look at the butterfly affirmations. And this beautiful butterfly with the translucent wings. Let's see what the affirmation is. My patience is being rewarded. My turn will come. All right, now just in making some connections here, for some reason, what I am picking up is that for the number ones, the people that are at the number one reading, my sense is that you have been waiting for a very long time, and that this has required a lot of patience. I want to say that what I am picking up for you, number one, is that the cards are looking at a really, I want to say, a monumental shift. This is a very big life shift. If it was related to something astrologically, we're not bringing in astrology, but we would be looking at the more slower moving planets, such as we might say like a Jupiter return or cycle or a Saturn return or cycle. This is a big shift, a big change that is potentially coming in. All right, we are going to pull some cards from the Tarot de Marseille. And we are looking at the page of rods or wands, all right, indicative of youth, energy, and passion. Again, absolutely consistent with all of these cards. Beautiful to see. And now we have the devil coming in from the Tarot de Marseille. And so again, I mean, this is really all running along the same lines. There is somewhat of a sensation of having been perhaps tied down in one place for a long time, perhaps being stuck and waiting for things to move. And now we have the 10 of Cups. Oh my goodness. And so, number ones, if indeed it has felt like things really have been stuck for a long time, you have been waiting for, I'm hearing ages. I'm hearing that it's just been ages for the tables to turn and to see some movement and some accomplishment and some real positive energy coming in. The tarot is saying here, again, to imagine that beautiful future that you have in mind, because the abundance is there for you. I'm hearing again, it is there for the asking. We have the Page of Cups coming in now. Absolutely, again, talking about your powers of manifestation. This is like, number one, I am hearing to go back and remember what it was like to actually be a child and wish for something with all your heart. What that was, almost like wishing for a birthday present or a Christmas present, and then finding that under the tree or opening it after you blow out the candles. That is the kind of some sensation that I am getting from our Page of Cups. And so to tap into that at this time in life, because the manifestation skills and abilities are with you at this time. And now we have the Hangman, more confirmation coming in that perhaps you have been waiting for a very long time. This can tend to make us have doubts potentially, or a potential for fear to come in. But again, as the affirmation stated, it is only a thought, and a thought can be changed. We have the Tower coming in. And so again, now this is very, I want to say suggestive of what I mentioned about a real major life shift coming in, not to fear, not to be concerned, because it may take this type of a major shift in order to bring in the type of abundance from heaven above that wishes to come down into your life. Now, to conclude the reading for you, number one, I want to take a look. I'm just going to pull the Dewas out one more time as a recap, because this really sets the tone, and it is the major message for you. This is what is happening at this time. This is a cyclical pattern. It's a cyclical pattern. We might say part of a karmic pattern where you have the potential to go through a major rebirth. It is a time when source energy can come in. This card, the source energy, divine energy coming into your reading, is to saying to be open, to be, just expand yourself, your consciousness, your being, open up to everything that is coming into your life, all good things that so greatly want to come into your life at this time, and then getting abundance. Really, it could not be better than this for you. For group number one, I want to say really congratulations on receiving such a beautiful reading, suggesting that you can simply ask and receive at this time. Thank you so much for visiting the channel, for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time. All right, we're back for the group number two reading, And as you can see, I'm using a lot of cards, and so I may announce them as I go along, but if I miss one, I will be listing them down below in the description. I do want to mention, though, that I will be starting out with the Dewas of Creation by Sheila Conway. This is a new deck for our channel, and so I wanted to mention that because I think some of you will be wondering what deck it is that I'm using. And we're going to go ahead and get started with your first card for the number twos, and this is Emergence. And you can see the rather abstract image. This is from the Transcendent Dewas, and so we are tapping in to energies from the the transcendent plane or non-physical plane, and there's a sense of wanting to break free or emerge. It's almost the sense we could say of a rebirth as well. All right, we are starting with that, and then next we have, this is a dark night. Dark night, and we can see the figure in the middle. It looks as though this entity or person is in a sort of a tunnel. However, they are being guided by a light that seems to, I want to say, make its way through the clouds and to the shadowy figure. Two very, I want to say, different contrasting images, very different images. All right, let's pull one more from the Transcendent Dewas. And this is the image for Earth. We can sort of get the idea of being above the earth and maybe the sky or the water here, but down below, all of these various types of earth, layers of earth, a lot of changing and movement. It may be very slow movement, movement that we cannot actually see happening, and yet movement nonetheless. And so deeper layers of earth. I am also picking up some images just right now in the moment of hands almost reaching up out of the earth, and the sensation again of almost like a seedling breaking through the crust of the earth and new growth. And so just to start out with, for the number twos, there's a sense that for a long while perhaps you have felt as though you are seeking something, seeking an answer, let us say, and reaching for that answer. I feel that it has been a long time, and that the sensation is that you cannot quite see exactly where the answers lie. The question can be, how can I break through? How can I break through to the light? The sensation is of wanting to just get out of this dark tunnel, shall we say, and emerge out into the light. Again, a question of how do I do that, and a searching and a seeking. I have to say, with the earth coming in to this position for the number twos, there is a theme or an overall message coming through for me that says that the answer to the question may indeed be actually in the here and now. It may not be in a place that is very remote or hard to get to, even if it seems that way. If the sensation is that it is that way, the cards are telling me that the answer is actually perhaps within yourself or in the more immediate environment. And now we have Mercury coming in, the planet Mercury, which also indicates the idea of seeking a message, looking for a message, really consistent with the dark night. And now we have, this is actually the final card in the deck of the Dewas of Creation. I'm sort of moving it around a little to try to find a spot where you can see this. It's almost just a circular pattern and just a little bit of light coming through. There is a sensation of a passageway, and so we're really getting from this the manifest physical plane Dewas just confirmation in this card that it could be that for a while, number twos, that you have felt as though you were just seeking out an answer or perhaps a solution. And my sensation is that it has been for a while, and that the answer seems to not be showing up clearly for you. It could even be, we have to make really the connection that this is a tarot reading, and so that it could be that you have been seeking answers in esoteric means through tarot readings or astrology, or perhaps even some channeling that you were doing for yourself through deep contemplative prayer. And again, the really important card, it seems to me, in this reading is the Earth card, which seems to be saying continue the search, but also not to neglect all of the messages that might be coming into you here on the Earth plane. This could be through things that you are seeing physically here on Earth. It could also be through people that are coming into your life, coming your way. Messages could be coming in that route. And now we have Uranus coming in. And so this is also seeing perhaps to think a little bit outside of the box, or think outside of the box. And it could be that by doing that, by changing things up a little bit, looking into different places for the answer that you seek, something different than what you have been currently doing, let us say, that you may find the answers there. There is also the sensation, though, I have to say, with the emergence card, that something really, I want to say, very dramatic needs to happen in life, or that you are desiring something very dramatic to happen, a very big shift. And it looks very, very positive, I have to say. I must acknowledge, though, it seems like that of late or currently, it feels like answers are not coming. The reading, however, is suggesting that the answers are there. It's a matter of looking in the right place for the answers. Now, we are going to go into some other cards now for some additional guidance and messages. Well, it's the Nine of Hearts. Number twos, all I can say is this is the wish card. This is the happiest card in the playing card deck. And when we see this come into a reading, it means that your wish is coming true. If things have been feeling very dark of late, if you have been searching or felt confused, perhaps even isolated or alone, you may be asking, how exactly can I change things around and have the things come into my life that I truly desire? The Nine of Hearts coming into your reading is saying that absolutely that is possible for you. And let's continue. Let's pull a few more cards from the playing card deck. We have the Three of Hearts coming in. All right, really, this is absolutely beautiful to see. It's possible for some of you, number twos, that this question that you have been seeking answers for has to do, it potentially could have to do with a relationship. And I feel that the question revolves around, whether it is a relationship or not, how to bring more joy into life. And so if it does relate to a relationship, then it might be that question. How do I bring more joy into the relationship? How do I enliven the relationship? And it could be that you feel like you're seeking answers but not really finding them, and yet the answer may lie in some very down to earth, I want to say actual sensual pleasures. And so pleasures that have to do with things that you can actually feel with the body. And again, that pertains either to a relationship, or if it's not a relationship, just life, life in general. What sorts of pleasures are you able to bring into your life? Breathing the fresh air, getting your hands down into the fresh earth. I am picking up, I have to say, this is really a lot of images coming in, but a sense of just like gardening. I have to say it. I don't know if any of you have ventured, have looked into seeing whether or not you have a green thumb, but it's that sort of energy of just digging your hands down into the fresh earth, planting seeds, watching them emerge, and this joy that comes out of living here on this planet in the here and now. Let's pull one more card. And it's the Joker. It's the black and white Joker. And wow, this is really consistent with getting Uranus in your reading in the area of the spread where we are looking for advice. And so I want to say for the number twos that if things have just felt like, rather, let's just say like stuck, or if you have felt like you are just sort of in a routine and things are not fresh, and you are wondering, how is it that I can bring more joy and life into my life? It could be that something just very different and surprising, just experiment. That is what is coming through in this reading, that just try new things, experimentation. Also, meeting new people, getting into new groups. You never know who you will meet and what life will come into life when you start mingling with new and different people. All right, we are going to bring in some cards from the Universal Weight now, and we have the Queen of Swords. And so I want to say that I am picking up the sensation, perhaps for some of you, of a little bit of isolation, I want to say, and feeling like that now might be the time to break out of that more solitary situation for some of you. And at the same time, I also want to say, though, that this is showing a really tremendous amount of mental and intellectual strength. The cards are saying here that whatever it is that's going on currently, if it feels as though it's sort of getting you down or you're stuck in a rut of some sort, that you have the strength to think outside of the box and bring yourself out, emerge really out of this dark night into more light. And now we have the Ace of Pentacles coming in, which is really just beautiful to see. It's suggestive of the potential for a new path to open up for you. For some of you, it may be that you are looking for an infusion of new energy, and you might find that in environments where you are involved in business or career. Now, I don't think that this is a business or career reading, however. I don't mean to say that. What I mean to say is that it looks like what you are hoping to find is some really new energy and passion in life, a brand new start. And for some of you, that may be connected to something that happens in a financial or business arena. And now we have the Knight of Pentacles. For the number twos, I want to say you are ready for this change. That is the message, clear, absolutely coming through loud and clear. You are ready for this change. Again, it looks like, however, the answers are here in the physical plane, in the earth plane. I would say, at this point in the reading, to be looking for synchronicities, because on the one hand I feel that you are looking for answers in a more esoteric means, or in an esoteric avenues. However, at the same time, the reading keeps coming back to this idea that the answers are actually here on the earth plane. And so you may see synchronicities in numbers that are repeated, for example, certain patterns that you see in nature, any type of coincidence, running into people several times. Let's say you haven't seen them in a long time, and then all of a sudden you've seen them several times, or they've come back up into your life several times. The change is, you are ready for it to happen now, and for it to happen here on the earth plane. Be ready for anything the cards are saying, for any sort of surprise to come in. And now we are going to go into the Tarot de Marseille. We have the Four of Cups coming in. And so again, more confirmation, clarifying the question for us. And I think it is how to break out of a sort of emotional, I want to say rut, in a way, sort of an emotional rut. I feel that there is a lot of emotion and energy trapped inside, just, maybe trapped isn't the right word. Let's say it is just waiting inside to burst forth. And I do feel for the number twos that you have been holding on to this energy for quite a while. It's like a reservoir of passion and love that you are holding deep inside of yourself. Now, I don't know if you are Virgo. I'm just going to mention this could be for any sign. This does not relate to an astrological sign, but I am picking up the sort of sensation or the dynamic that we see sometimes with Virgo. Well, actually we have Mercury coming in as well here, and then we have an air card, and now the Four of Cups. So it's the idea that on the surface, perhaps it seems like you are very sort of cool and calm, going through life as though perhaps nothing is going to bother you on the surface, and perhaps you don't need to have passion and excitement in life. But deep down inside, deep down in your heart of hearts, you could open up, number two, open up, emerge, and discover that there is a great deal of passion lying underneath that very calm surface. And now we have the Two of Cups coming in. All right, and so for the number twos, I feel that this new start, there's certainly a sensation of a new start needed. If it has not come in yet, that a new start is needed. Also I want to say a different frame of mind, an open frame of mind, and that this is going to bring about a great deal of healing for you. Healing, all right, we have now the Page of Pentacles coming in right below the Knight of Pentacles. So, and not only that, my goodness, we have the Earth card here as well. And so we are just getting this incredibly strong message for you, number two. I want to encourage you to really look very deeply into your current resources. I'm hearing this also. You have everything that you need. This is a healing process where you are looking for answers, but the answers are right here. The answers are within. The answers are actually, I feel, in your current life. They are, I almost want to say, right in front of you, but it's difficult to see them, very difficult to see them. But we are looking here at this light, this sort of foggy light, and it is as though you are walking this path, seeking answers, and yet the light that is coming through it's on the current plane. It's right here on the earth plane for you. This is wonderful news, number twos, because it means that it's not something that you have to wait for. It's some future life or some future time, but that it is indeed right here for you. And now we have the Knight of Rods. All right, let's pull a few more cards from the Tarot de Marseille. We have the King of Cups. All right, we are getting a lot of court card and a lot of people now coming into your reading. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, this is very interesting. There are a lot of people coming into your reading now. So this is suggesting to me, I want to say, in regards to the healing, I feel that for some of you number twos, that you are in the process of really examining your life and examining your entire life, I want to say. For some of you, I feel that you are looking at and examining or even analyzing your parents, potentially, your father and your mother, and how your parents have influenced you, how perhaps you are partly, I want to say, similar to your father, and how partly you are similar to your mother, and that there is a process of reconciling those two influences, those two parts of the self that come together to form you. And I think that when these two sides of the self come together, the best parts, the best sides of you come together, that truly you are going to feel much more whole and united. That is what I am picking up from both the Knight of Rods and the Page of Pentacles, both cards here. I feel almost as though the page is you as a young person, watching your parents, I want to say, and picking up influences from them, or just recognizing how you are similar to them. And that the Knight of Rods is perhaps you now, and looking at both your mother and your father, and the best sides of them. We really want to bring the best sides of both together. For some of you, I do feel that you resonate perhaps a little bit more with your mother, and you might be looking for healing from her or about her in some way. This is really very deep soul searching and psyche work that is showing up in this reading. It's extremely positive. I have to say, it's something I feel that a person goes through, perhaps during one period of life. It's a very important period of life. And it also has to do, I feel, with reconciling both the masculine and the feminine self. The parts of you that are more, let's say, assertive and wanting to emerge and come out and really approach the world as though every day is a brand new opportunity to just wake up and see what you can make of this day in this world. That is a more masculine sort of energy, a more assertive energy. At the same time, there is this more feminine side, we might say, a feminine self that is deeply soul searching and seeking for meaning all the time throughout life. And this requires a little bit of pulling back and reflection. So I have to say, altogether, looking at these cards all together, this is a very deep and important time, I feel, for the number twos. There is a lot of healing occurring. The reading is calling for an open mind, to have an open mind, allow surprises to come in. There is a deep, deep reservoir of passion inside of you, number two. And there is the potential for great, great happiness, joy, and excitement to come into life. We are going to bring in the two affirmation cards now. And this one is from the Power Thought cards by Louise Hay. And okay, well, there it is. I balance my masculine and feminine sides, all right? And so that is just what I was saying, but the difference that I was picking up with the Tarot de Marseille had to do with also the mother and the father. That the idea that part of you resonates with the father, part with the mother, and that both of those sides are coming together for you to create harmony, as well as the more assertive sides of the self and the more reflective sides. The message on the other side for you is the masculine and feminine parts of me are in perfect balance and harmony. I am at peace and all is well. So beautiful and so consistent with this Two of Cups. You know, these are thoughts that you can bring into the here and now. This is work that you can do in the here and now on the earth plane. And just as I said, I feel that this is something that you are working on right now, and that it is available for you in the physical plane. And now we have one more affirmation for you for the number twos. I soothe away anxiety and stress by choosing to do things that help me relax. Well, I would have to say for the number twos, you certainly deserve that. It looks like you are doing some very deep work, very positive work, beautiful healing work. And as a final message, I sort of see you right here in this butterfly attached to this little stem and the single green leaf as a reminder that everything that you need right now is right here in the physical plane, and it is here to help you heal and to become whole. For the number twos, I want to thank you so much for being here, for watching, and for listening, and I will see you next time. All right, we're back, and this is the reading for the number threes, the number three group. And as you can see, I'm going to be using a lot of cards. I may not mention every single one. I will try to, but if I miss one, they'll be listed below in the description. I will mention, though, that I am using the Dewas of Creation by Sheila Conway to begin with. And I'm mentioning that because it is a new deck for this channel, and I think some of you might be wondering what cards I'm using. And so let's go ahead and get started with the number three reading and the Dewas of Creation. All right, we are starting with, for the number threes, Eros. This is the card that represents the divine masculine. I know these cards are a little hard to see. Some of them are faint, but I will move them around a little bit for you so that you can pick up the image. And you can see there's sort of the pattern of an angel here in the light. It really represents the very highest self, the ultimate self, the best that we can be. All right, and now we have, this is 21. This is water coming into your reading. And so, of course, we just at once think about the symbolism of water as relating to compassion, love, empathy, a very sort of actually feminine sort of energy. And so right at once we have a beautiful masculine energy coming into your reading, followed by this beautiful flowing feminine energy. And now we have, this is 0 in the Dewas of Creation deck. It's simply a black image, and it represents the void or the 0 point. It's a little hard to wrap your head around, actually, or I might say for me to wrap my head around, because this means really non-existence. So in terms of the cosmos, you might think about what was in existence or not in existence prior to the Big Bang. So it is about emptiness, about just emptying everything out of the self. In more, I want to say, prosaic terms, or just terms that we could relate to here on Earth, it would have to do with emptying out the mind of all of the busy things that are going on in the mind. Now, this first set of cards here is from the Transcendent Dewas. This is the non-physical plane. I'm going to pull in now 3 cards from the physical Dewas, and then we'll pull them together for you. This is 60. It is Valley. This is Valley. I often just want to say rainbow when I see this card, but it certainly represents peace, serenity. I want to say arriving in real time. I want to say everything that you see in this card that represents beauty and peacefulness is available for you now. It's not at the end of the rainbow, so it's not something that you can't reach or you're always striving for, but rather something that is in present time for you. And now we are looking at, this is number 62. I can see the number on this card. This is desert. And you can see the bright desert image, the just like sandy hills here. If you look closely now, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. It's a little bit hard for me even to see, but there are some footprints in the sand, which is important for this card. And also this very striking difference between the sort of browns and blacks that we have here, as opposed to this really brilliant, almost, what would we call this, a fuchsia, a bright pink, and then almost like this periwinkle blue sky. This is desert. And I do want to point out that all of a sudden now you see what is coming out of this reading is this stark contrast between, we have the masculine and the feminine here, but we also have water followed by desert. So 2 extreme oppositions coming up in the reading. And this is 61. This is ocean. All right, now we have 2 water cards coming up. And so the idea of flow becomes important. However, with ocean, we are looking at layers and all the way deep down to the very bottom of the ocean, up through the layers until we can see the surface. All right, and so for the number 3s, my sense here, I have to say, is I feel that there is a sensation, perhaps of lacking something in life. This is possible. A feeling of lack. However, the reality is the exact opposite of that. That is what is coming through for me in this reading. What I want to say for you, number 3, is that this is really a picture of wholeness. I want to say it's almost like you are just an absolute complete package. There is the masculine energy. This is the it's hard really to express in terms of the dewas how beautiful it is to receive this card, because it means really the ultimate and best possibility for mankind in terms of love. This is the highest and the best possible love that humans can express, and this is part of you. And also at the same time, we're pairing it with this beautiful water card expressing also compassion, love, and empathy. So what I am picking up is that if there is any idea of lack or a void for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, to know that it is not the truth. There is nothing lacking. If anything, this solid black card represents that you have indeed everything that you need inside of you. The combination of these things are creating actually this beautiful void. We might think of it as a mental space where all of the thoughts that sort of preoccupy us, superficial thoughts during the day, where those completely vanish. They are voided out, and we can get in touch with who we really are. That is what I am picking up. There is actually absolutely no lack. There is, I want to say, almost a sensation of being fooled. With the desert on the surface, it might seem like there is perhaps, let's say, a lack of growth or a lack of beauty or a lack of things that you desire or some sort of sense of lack. That is what we see on the surface of the desert. But if we look underneath at the deeper layers, then we see the absolute beauty. There is nothing more beautiful than a sunset in the desert. And we can also think about the desert when it blooms in springtime after a rain, after such a long time of there appearing to be really nothing. All of a sudden, this beauty emerges. And this is what I am picking up for you for the number 3s. There is no lack in life. Everything that you have is right here in the here and now. It is not some distant place that is unreachable. Everything that you wish to be yourself is within you now. I do feel that for some of you, it might be sort of deep in the unconscious or the subconscious, we might say. There might be some feelings of darkness, or as though, the light is not shining through. But what's really coming through with this reading is that everything about you is beautiful, from the light to the various shades of blue to the darkness at the bottom. Everything about you is beautiful, and you are whole. Now we're going to get into some of the other cards now to see what other ideas we can bring into the reading. And we are starting with the Ace of Clubs. All right, now this is suggesting to me really right off the bat that there is an opportunity, I want to say, for a new way of thinking or a new start. Let's continue. We have the Five of Spades. All right, and so again, I really am sort of picking up this sensation that there is, I want to say, a susceptibility to sink into thinking that life can be potentially bringing sorrow. It's true that we all go through difficult times, for sure. We all go through that. I am picking up the sense that it's possible for the threes. For some of you, you might be in one of those stages where you're sensing some sorrow due to some sort of change. And it can sort of be the feeling of being isolated or in the desert, or feeling lack, or needing something. But I'm also sensing from this that this is cyclical. It's not something that's going to last. And I am also, I'm sensing, I hope that this makes sense, that there is also a great beauty in this sorrow that you might potentially be experiencing. And it has to do with the depth of your own soul. Your soul is beautiful. And now we are bringing in the Five of Diamonds. And so there is some sort of change, it appears, some sort of change that is occurring for the number threes, potentially. It seems to be something that is happening here on the earth plane. It is attached to life on the earth plane. Let's continue and see what the universal weight is bringing in. We have the Page of Cups. Now, this is telling me for the number threes that indeed you can be asking, actually, how do I bring about or manifest the sort of life that I wish to have for myself, and a more, I want to say, full life, or a feeling of satisfaction and wholeness? That can be a question that is circulating around in your mind, and it can feel like perhaps that a brand new start is needed in order to bring that about. Well, and now we have another five. This would be the Five of Rods or the Five of Clubs in the playing card deck. And so clearly a lot of change in the air for the number threes. I feel that some of you have been putting on not exactly a happy face. I don't want to say that, but you have been appearing, let's say, to be very strong, putting on that sort of face that says, I'm very strong, I can handle this. And it's true that you can, but I think deep on the inside, it's possible that you're not actually enjoying this experience of change. Now, that's a little different reading for the typical Five of Rods, but that's what I am picking up overall from this particular reading. I feel like the change that you're undergoing, it's something that perhaps you would prefer not to happen. However, it's something also I feel that in the end is going to help you to realize how actually full your life is. And here we have the Four of Cups. And so, again, so this is what I was saying when I was picking up the sensation about not particularly enjoying the entire process that you're going through. However, the tarot is seeing that there are consolations on offer for you. And I believe that spirit realm wishes deeply to console you and to help you get through this change. Again, I want to emphasize that if there is a feeling of lack or not feeling whole in some way, I want to say it could be potentially, it could have to do with a separation of some sort between people. There could be some loss involved in terms of a relationship, but the cards are seeing that indeed you are whole. By yourself. It may not feel that way right at the moment, but this is what the tarot is suggesting. And now we are bringing in the Tarot de Marseille. We have the Six of Swords. And so I feel that whatever this changes that is occurring, you would like to be more settled mentally. And let's continue to bring in some more cards. Now we have the Four of Swords coming in. All right, so very interesting. It seems like for you number threes, there is a sort of I want to say a repetitive thought pattern that is going around. It's coming around and around. And it has to do with this idea that perhaps you don't have everything that you need. And that sort of is being reinforced by thinking that same theme over and over again. The cards are saying otherwise, though, that there is no lack. And now we have the Seven of Cups coming in. And so there is perhaps some uncertainty at this time emotionally, but also I want to say that the cards are suggesting, again, very strongly, to open up spiritually. The spiritual blessings, I want to say, and comfort are on offer to you. We have the Lovers coming in. And so now again, for some of you, it could be that this sensation of, I want to say, missing a part of yourself has to do with some people that, or perhaps a particular person that is no longer in your life, and that you are going through a process of change that involves feeling whole again by yourself, on your own. And now we have the Nine of Pentacles. Well, this is actually beautiful to see because it says that you are indeed potentially near or at a completion, or that you will complete this stage that you are in of transformation. So we're very positive to see the Nine of Pentacles there. And now we have the Eight of Swords. All right, so we have three sword cards that are all also even numbers. And I believe again, so I'm going to repeat myself just a little bit, I feel, and I apologize for that. But the message is very pointed as it's coming through. And it is this. This is the idea of a sort of repetitive thought pattern that is just going round and round. And it's almost instilled, I want to say. It's instilled in the mind. And it is suggesting that whatever lack it is that you have, or this feeling of lack, is is saying that you yourself are not whole or enough all by yourself. But the cards are saying that that is just an illusion, that you are whole all by yourself. I'm going to bring in, again, the first 3 dewas because this is so important. I'm going to bring them in this way. We have the feminine water, the masculine eros, and we have this void in the middle. It is like bringing all of these colors together and this entire whole picture resulting in this beautiful, dark image. It is actually beautiful. You are beautiful, I want to say, number 3. That is what's coming through in the cards, and it's coming through so strongly. It's resounding, I want to say. Let's bring in 2 affirmation cards. The first one from the Power Thought cards from Louise Hay. Everything I touch is a success. All right, that's very interesting because I'm really leaning much more towards relationships here, but we do have the 5 of diamonds coming in, and so it's possible for some of you that this change that is occurring, or this idea that I don't have what it takes, or I don't have enough, that sort of thought may have to do with your career for some of you, or your life path, or your level of success in life. And so this affirmation is saying, no, you have everything that you need. You are whole all together. You're by yourself, and everything you touch is a success. Let's look at the other side now. This card has 2 messages. This side tells us, I now establish a new awareness of success. I know I can be as successful as I make up my mind to be. I move into the winning circle. Golden opportunities are everywhere for me. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. And, I love this for you, number 3s, because, again, you have everything that you need. You are absolutely whole. All the parts are there. You need nothing. Success is yours. Any negative thoughts that are circulating in the mind that tend to repeat over and over, just to be aware of them and say, oh, there's that thought again. There's that thing that I keep saying to myself, or thinking, or doubting. It could be a sort of a doubt that creeps up over and over, which is just understandable. It's what so many of us do consistently. But just to be aware of that thought and say, oh, there that is again, but it's not the truth about me. And to just dismiss that thought, bring in the new affirmation. Let's take a look at the affirmation from the butterfly affirmations. The love within me is more powerful than doubt or fear. Well, goodness, we couldn't ask to conclude this reading with anything really more pointed for you. For the number 3s, it's all about the love within you. It is so powerful, as we see in the dewas with eros and water. It is so powerful within you that it is enough to overcome anything. Well, for the number 3s, I want to thank you so much for being here, for watching, and for listening, and I'll see you next time.